Hey everyone, welcome back to How to Be a Poser. Today we're going to explore posing a figure at a scale that's typically reserved for statue collectors. I'm talking about the Spider-Man Deluxe version quarter scale collectible figure by Hot Toys from Spider-Man Homecoming. Let's get started. All right, here's the quarter scale Spider-Man still in its packaging, exactly the way that it's going to come to you, and it's got so much to unpack, literally. Fans of the 6 scale figures that Hot Toys produces from the Spider-Man range will appreciate and recognize all the different hands, the different webs, the different eyes. This holographic interface and map are pretty slick. The backpack looks fantastic, but the real star of the show is all these pieces for the base. There's so much going on that there's even a third tray beneath this tray full of parts for that base. So I can't wait to see what we can do with all of that, so let's get rolling. All right, look at this beast of a figure. It's just so massive and I love it. You can hear it when you test the range of motion that every single joint is ratcheted, so they're really aware of the fact that the heavier a figure gets, the more likely it is that the joints will be, bendable by that weight itself. So they've taken steps to make sure that that doesn't happen. You can see that I've got the base fully assembled here. If you want to see instructions on how to assemble the base, they come with the figure. There are multiple display options for it. I've actually gone ahead and gone with the whole kitchen sink approach. This is legitimately utilizing every piece of base that you can use at the same time. The only one that's not included is this part, which is actually something of a placeholder for that top panel there. So if you wanted to take that top shelf off there and just use the bottom portion of the base to display Spider-Man, you can, and this will cover up what would otherwise be an unsightly keyhole. For this figure, I really want to accentuate the base in the pose that I use. You can see how with this base, there's that vulture wing that kind of creates a leading line leading to the point where the stand is. So what I want to do with the figure is pose it in such a way that it creates a diverging leading line with using Spider-Man's arms to draw your attention to the figure. All right, so we're gonna have him shooting a web. I've got this web out. I'm going to need his left web shooter hand. And let's see, for the decisions, this looks like it could be cool, but you can see, because I really want his right hand to be like, yeah, like spread out there. And like he's just channeling his energy all the way from his body and just out one end and then the other. You can see that there's actually the implication of weight being pressed onto those fingers there. And I don't think that that's what I'm after. So I'm just gonna go for this relaxed hand. It's got a little bit of a claw effect to those final 2 digits, which I actually think is kind of desirable for what I'm doing here. So let's roll with that. How do we want the eyes? Because we have so many options. We've got one version here that's slightly wider and then progressively smaller after that. And then of course we also have the instant kill eyes, which we're not going to use here today. He's not angry Spider-Man today. All right, so all my accessories have been selected. I'm going to move forward with changing everything out. You can see the wrist pegs. They've just kind of taken the 3D model of this and blown it up to quarter scale. It works, it's fine. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I'm really happy that this thing is standing so well on its own, because the thing about ratcheted joints, especially in like the ankles, is that you have the potential for the failure of an equilibrium to occur when it's in a neutral stance. But this one's standing up pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that. Moving on to posing the figure now, I'm going to be needing to reorient this hand at some point. And when I do, it's important to point out that, see this part, this black part right here? This needs to align with the web shooter. They're meant to be whole. At least the original design of the comic book web shooters was meant to be whole. Although that would be an interesting design choice if they decided to go ahead and create it in such a way that it could move around. Like maybe have like a track on the inside there. I don't know. I'll leave that up to Tony Stark or maybe Adam Savage or somebody like that. Oh, look at that ab crunch that we can get out of this. This is so fun. I'm just going to go ahead and go with him body extended, springing away from this base, shooting a web up into the sky, getting ready to take flight. So let's just go ahead and get that up there. And then rotate this around as we talked about. And I'm going to do this arm exactly the opposite. Listen to those satisfying crunches. Tilting the head back because I want him to be aiming right down this. See how I've kind of hyperextended his leg here just to create more of a curve? Yeah, that's desirable. You want that. Let's go ahead and extend that torso twist a little bit more. And I think I'm going to move his arm a little bit closer to front, because I really want him sighting down that line of his arm. I don't want him straight up and down like this, because you can see that looks dull, but if you turn him a little bit, then you got a little bit more dynamism going on. So let me just bend that leg just a touch more, because I kind of want that foot to be in line with the leg too, see? Yeah, that looks good. So I've got a basic pose here, so it's time to put the figure onto the stand. I've already pre-positioned my stand here. I think that this is right, but I'll probably have to make some adjustments. So let's just go ahead and slide that over here. Yeah, look at that. Now, I've never had to do this before, but I'm actually gonna have to stand up to put the web shooter in, and this thing is so tall. And there we go, that's done it. That's my first pose of the Spider-Man Deluxe version quarter scale figure by Hot Toys. It is a great figure. Look at the light on that thing. The original Stark suit from the films is a satisfying homage to Spidey's classic red and blue threads. It's thankfully free of spandex and has a sweet modern look to it, and Hot Toys has translated that well here. But the real star of the show might be this base. With its multiple configurations, it really broadens the range of display options in a way that maximizes the figure's storytelling potential. I really dig it.
Be sure to subscribe by clicking the S icon on your screen and click that bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under Product Info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.